You know it's going to be a good session when you try and load the game by clicking on the stream preview in OBS. Alright, our pod is almost returning. Can I, like, get hit by my pod as it falls down? As it re-enters? 27 seconds. I'll probably land before it gets here. But just in case. I'm right by my base in case it kills me. Probably goes through me, I don't know if it has collision. Oh, I just landed underneath it at exactly the right time. I probably would have just got stuck. That would have been bad. I don't know what unstuck mechanics there are in this game. So if our pod has landed, that means we can choose another milestone. We've got Pipeline Engineering, Blueprints Mark II, Hover Pack. I kind of want to do that just for the inventory slots, to be perfectly honest. Scannable resource for Sulfur, and that also gets us to our next part that we need for Project Assembly. I really want drones, but that requires radio control unit, which I think needs this. Okay, so there's a series of prerequisites in play. This seems like an easy one to research at least. Only issue is the aluminium sheets, which we are going to be working on. So the main thing I was working on is trying to run a massive conveyor belt to where I can have a quartz mine. And for that to be useful, I need more of these. Let's just stack up on a few lots of steel beams. And then we've got to get back to our production. Also, what are you doing at the moment? You're low on reinforced iron plates. Was I meant to soma sloop you? I feel I was. I think I was. Though maybe not, because now we have a lot more quartz crystals, so it doesn't matter as much. But, where are my plates at? You're backing up. Nice. I've got another container somewhere else as well, I believe, but for now, let's just shunt you in there and then put another few stacks in there and keep a couple of stacks on me as well. Good. You, meanwhile, have been busy making the heavy modular frames, but I can't feed you screws fast enough. And nothing is actually making screws for you directly. It's the other issue. It's a bit hard to route it all the way over there. But what we can do in the meantime is just take... so the bottom storage container doesn't really fill up. Because you're splitting off... Well, I say because you're splitting off automatically. You're producing 100 per minute. And you're not using any at the moment. Oh, you were doing iron plates, that's right, but we actually turned you off. Because we have a backlog. And we're now making them somewhere else. And then we have other screws going over here. That's for rotors, and that is being used, and it's still being doubled. Probably doesn't need to anymore, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, we've got a few backing up now, but that's in aid of having our engine production, which is over here, or the container is over here somewhere. Yes, you, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we need for the hover pack milestone. We may as well just pop them in now. And a couple of stacks of computers. So at the very least, we may as well pop those in. So the heavy modular frames, we're actually soma slooping that one. We've got 2 here, so maybe we do take them out of the rotor production, which means we can take you out. Where was the other soma sloops? Because I feel I had a couple extra. I can't even remember where I put them now. Wait, what's my power network like, actually? Okay, fine. Like, really fine. You guys can go in there. Because why not? I probably don't need to overclock you anymore. Don't need to produce them quickly, but I do want to produce more of them. I've got 24. I needed 25, I think, to be useful, we'll just take a stack. Why not? So that way I can make a radar tower. And then in here... Oh yeah, I have tons of these. Alright, never mind then. Let's... I was going to hold off on putting those in, but let's just get those going. The hover pack could be really fun because you can use that anywhere in your base. And it just has basically unlimited power. It charges off your local power network. Why did I think I had some of the plates? Have I put them some... Oh, I put them here. There we go. Yeah, I had 68 of them. Okay, so I still need more. But I can manually make them. I could bring the aluminium all the way back here instead of making them automatically. But, yeah. That would probably be the easiest thing to do, actually, is to bring the aluminium all the way back here. Maybe eventually. Like, once I have drones or something, then maybe that's the play. But for now, we'll just do that. So let's hop into our tube again. We can at least get up to the mountaintop. Now, I needed a break somewhere in that line there, I think. I don't think there is a break for me. I almost need this to just be a short hyperloop that just goes up to the top there. But then do I really want a broken network that much? I almost want to have two parallel tubes. One that takes me there kind of in a broken form. Let's just go all the way through and check on our base anyway. I almost need to have one that I can use as a stop-by-stop sort of one, and then have an express service that just goes direct. How to choose which one to do, I'm not quite sure. I guess you could fit a power switch in line, actually. It's kind of excessive, but you could fit a power switch in and just swap between, just choose which one you want. Then I'd always forget which number was which. There's our aluminium over there. So we can see where that is now. We can see the conveyor belt starting to snake its way off towards where we've got quartz and copper. Each of those power line bits where it kind of breaks, I could actually put in an extra entranceway as well. Oh, are you backing all the way up down there now? Oh, okay, yeah, we really need to get rid of some plastic then. Alright. Do I have an equipment workshop around here at all? Not sure if I do. I need to take this plastic back to my main base before I do much else though. Just get some loose stacks off me. At the moment we're more interested in just carrying lots of plastic. Cool. Now you still have a bunch in there. I'm guessing there's, yeah, tons in here. Let's just pull all of those out. There we go. We are now full of plastic because we have a big container to put it in when we get back to the main base. I love that these things that normally give us a boost to go upwards also give us a really good boost going straight ahead. Now, I'm actually shortcutting this because I'm not going to have enough space because I've got plastic everywhere. I'm filled to the brim with plastic. I can get rid of a stack of plastic. There we go. And now I have something for when I deconstruct things. Otherwise, I'll just drop a crate, which is fine. So here, if we get rid of this section here, I want it to still be in line. Is that close enough? I think it is. We'll just go firing out and into the bottom lip of that one. That's even further, it's still further away than I thought it would. If they're not going to give me the way to just like boost it, then this is what we have to do. Now the problem is we don't have power at this point, because we previously had our power lines running along here. But then we discontinued that and strung it up that way, and we haven't pulled it back since. So what we could always do is actually, let's just make another big pylon over here. This is like the original pathway. Go on the flat bit here. And from there, just connect up those. So we can go from there and bring it up. Not sure which the best way to do this is. Can have it so it angles up towards that one. Let's do that. We're not going to be able to get power lines close enough though. We should have just dropped this to a power line there, like a small one. Get rid of that, get rid of that. And now power those. Bring this up here so it's an easy way to get up here anyway, since we can't just walk on our thing. And do that. So now from here, we want to line this up. We'd really like to go up one more. I should really be using a foundation for this stuff so I can actually line it up properly. But then it's going to be hovering in mid-air. In mid-air. I don't want that either. I just want it closer than I think. There we go, that looks better. And now we can run this up to the connection. Hopefully it's close enough. Otherwise we can always stand this bit off a little bit as well. Okay, will connect. But since we're going that way, we almost want to actually bring it up here, because then it's a straight... Yeah, we're actually doing a sort of weird curve through here, and we don't need to. And we can always then angle this one up, and have the next one, like, connect up. And then we tilt it like that. Oh, we can even actually grab it from up there. So we want to deconstruct this, deconstruct this. This won't be twisted that way anymore. It'll actually be coming straight down. How far can it go? Can we get... We can get most of the way there. We don't need a second bit. We can't get the whole way there, but we can get this part here at least, and then it's a bit flatter. Okay. Up. We put this all the way there. Oh, we're now going slightly through the tree there. Ah. Okay, so that actually needs to be a little bit more to the right. Messing about with something that really doesn't matter. Bring us down here, so we want to straight run through this. We want it to come down to about here. Just past this tree. Alright. Up there, and then down here. But we were thinking we could do that. Do those connect? Kind of. Not perfectly. That's better, I think. Entrance, entrance. And now we need power. It definitely looks like I'm just going to slam my head from one to the other. I think this probably needed to go up a little bit more. Okay, so you should now be able to come up here. Okay. Now if I jump in between those, I'm going to be pulled apart. I don't know which way I'm going to go. Let's try and go this way. Hey, we got the right way. So we slow down still here, but the compounding effect from the other two should hopefully propel us along a little bit quicker. Just doing so many sort of dog legs that we don't need to do. It could just be made straighter, which I think would help as well. Right, let's drop our plastic off at the very least. Yeah, we're actually empty on plastic anyway. There we go. That makes a huge difference. What else should I be checking on while I'm here? You've run out of screws again, of course. Yes, and also about to run out of modular frame, looks like, which are in here. We might still need some regular modular frame too, so we shouldn't use up all of it. We have a lot in here. Good. That's basically a container's load. So screws should not be the thing that runs out this time over here. Well, maybe, because it uses so many of them, maybe it will still. Right, let's keep that going. I want this full one day. And bonk. Let's see if these connections work. We don't need them for the downward stretch. Oh, they definitely work. All that does is make us go firing off here. We should just make these closer now, because we don't actually care too much about getting off here for copper or anything. So I think we redesign this stretch just to make it so it goes straight. We don't even need it doing such a severe angle over there. We don't even need it broken at all. I can just connect up. Yeah, we don't need these. And then this here, we want to be as straight as possible going through here. Yeah, we can go through the legs of this. Oh, pipe is too long? Just? Okay. But we can at least see where we're going through here. We'll go to as far as we can. We'll go as far as this. And then pop that up there. And then connect this up directly. There we go. And that's where we've got our boost to go up. Lovely. And this now connects just all the way through to go up. We should have a boost at the bottom though if we don't already. Not sure if we do. Yeah, this is where you should connect to that. And then here we should actually have... This should be a break, I think. And this we could actually put just a small foundation on just to make sure that it lines up, probably. Would be a good idea. That rock's gonna stick through it still, which is kind of funny, but I'm fine with that. Okay, that's just so we can make sure that it matches up nicely. So if we do that and face it down, and then grab that across here, it's on the same line, and then face that up. Either way, I think, works. Maybe we want to bring this one in one more, actually. Oh, we can't because the rock's there? Ah, rude. Okay, well, I think that's fine. There we go, that looks pretty good. That's a pretty good match, I think. If we do that. Nice. And we can boost up. And then can we... Which way will we go? We do go up. Good. And then we've got a bit of a wobble there. That needs to be smoother. The support just needs to be angled, that's all. We never angled our supports. This probably doesn't need to go up and over too, there's a small bit down there instead. That still needs to go up high though. Now this is the other thing. This is currently our little nexus. I guess that's still fine. Though I would prefer to have a easy zip line over there. I can just jump on top of this, though. No, I can't. It's too tall. Okay, so what we can do, though, is let's at least just move this slightly. Let's put it next to the branch there, actually. I should be tilting it as well, probably, rather than it being straight. It doesn't need to be straight. And that'll change how things interact with it as well. So once again, bring it down here, and then go up, and then tilt. There we go. So now if I want to, I can just run up here instead. And then there's a few points that I could do with having a boost. Probably like here, to be perfectly honest. But otherwise, this just goes up slowly, but that's fine. And then it joins up to where the power lines are again anyway. And this is where we can much more easily have a boost if we want. Not just a boost, but also just a break for a stopping point. Also, I think the quartz that I want to mine is around here somewhere. I also feel that this is doing a harder angle than it needs to, right? I don't really want to get rid of any of these bits, to be perfectly honest. Maybe we don't break it there. Maybe we break it over here instead. It's easier to break it at this point. Let's just stand on top of... This isn't an entrance, so I can't get sucked into it or anything. So we do just that. Like so. It kind of matches up, not quite. Let's actually undo this one as well. I actually want to undo this too, come to think of it, because that's too low down. I want to put a foundation down here, to be perfectly honest. I don't think that's unreasonable. Just to build it up. Let's actually... I don't want to do that. I want to have it like that. Because otherwise it's right by the water, right? That's not very safe. There we go, up as high as it can. And then come up to this point here. I think it's going up one, is it? Yeah, there we go. Good. Entrance, entrance. Power, power. Thump, 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 thump. You can then go from here up to there. So here is also where we could consider having a entrance relay. Anyway, let's check our map. Where the hell are we? So our aluminium's all over there. Oh, we have a crate over there that because we had too much stuff in our inventory. I was actually thinking that the bauxite here is a perfect place to put a radar tower. So maybe we go and do that real quick. But we can scan for the quartz and find out. It was over the other side of the lake, I know that much. It's probably where those poison things are. Yup. Looks likely. Yep, sure enough. Okay, let's get rid of some of these. I don't have all that many filters at the moment either. Okay, here we go. There's more up there. I think that was to block our access getting up. Okay, what are you? You're normal? Were there more around here? Normal, pure. Pure's probably excessive, to be honest. Yeah. I think pure is very excessive, quite frankly. Oh, I need a miner as well, don't I? You know what, I could probably just move... Oops. I could Let me move my quartz operation from here up to here, to be perfectly honest. Whatever. I'm here now. Special equipment. Let's just put it like right up against here. I'm betting a creature will still find its way in here somehow. Portable miner. I'll make 2 actually, because I want to do copper as well, so... Production! Miner face. That way. Buffer, not that it's really that necessary just for the quartz alone, but so this is pure, so it'll be 120, so let's mark 2 it. Why is it... I lined you up. Like, I did this, and the line was there. I'm sure of it. I don't trust that line. Okay, let's just do it ourselves then. The clip line never seems to work properly. Okay. That's better. Alright, so that's quartz dealt with, and then we... I mean, do we even care about quartz crystals at this point? I think we're just doing silicon, right? Yeah, see, look, it does it offset. There it doesn't, but now it does. It's so weird. So silica, only 22.5 per minute? Wow, okay. So I would have to branch it off a lot to make multiple. Which, hey, I can do. I've got splitters. Give me a splitter. I mean, I've got the room. Let's separate this a little bit more, actually. Split it down first. Conveyor belt 2, because we only need conveyor belt Mark 1s in between the others anyway. Because I'd have to double them to actually... Yeah, 22.5. Even if I double it, still doesn't matter. That's still only 33.75, which is such a weird number. If we completely double it, it's 45. And then 75 per minute coming out. I can't remember how many I actually need, but I'd rather have too much. So it's a 1 to there, and then we want to have another constructor here, and another one here. So much silica. Alright, and then we're going to have a power pole. We actually have power not far away from here, don't we? It's over there. Okay, well, I say not far, it's actually a little ways away. We've got our main pylons going through here anyway. So let's do that, and then string you up across the other side. Actually, no, we want them connected over here. Do that there. And... yeah, of course, because we actually want... No, I get it. So we do bop, bop, bop. That's fine. We actually want power pylon, I think, to be perfectly honest. If we can, even if we don't connect them up directly. Let's just do a platform, in fact. And that just next to this container. Can that just connect to that one? Actually can. That's funny. It's going to look a bit weird, but... It's a bit of a weird angle for doing the ziplining, but... Right, you. Also silica. Also double. You. Also silica. Also double. I have so many power shards that it's just not even an issue. And now we want to have a conveyor merger here, because now we need Mark II, Mark II, Mark II, because it's 75, 75, 75, which is 225, and then we have Mark III, which is 240 coming out. Pretty sure that's how that works. And this starts its trek across the world. We should power those things, actually. I should also check my map, actually, to make sure that I'm going the right way. I don't know where my other ones are, but... Well, I'm going around here, so I know that. I need to keep the lake to my left. Oops. At the very least, we do want to join up with, like, our power area down here anyway. We know that. Hey, this is actually a decent place to put it. That was too long, okay. Put that there. Put that down to the left of that tree, I guess. There's that yellow one there. I guess we can go down here and see where it comes. He's just going to brush through the leaves. We can also cut down trees if we need to. It's fine, we can cut down some trees. There's plenty more where they came from. Especially not a huge fan of these guys here anyway. How far can this go? It's too long over there. That's a shame. Oh, we can actually sit it on top. Okay, but not of the entrances, obviously, but we can actually sit it on top there. That's kind of funny. I don't think I want to. Oh, it's fine at that point. There we go. Now it goes over the top. Nice. That's actually quite good. And then take it over here. Through the forest, I guess. There's a tree there. Can it bridge this gap? Yes, just. Good. Perfect. I love making little bridges out of conveyor belts. There's something really fun about doing that. So, where am I headed? I am kind of tracking directly towards the bauxite. Oh, here's the nitrogen. Wasn't I close to that? I feel I'm not far off, actually, now. I feel I was going somewhere around the nitrogen area. Oh yeah, just over there. Nice. I've almost met it up. It's not the straightest road in the world, but it's not too bad, all things considered. Actually, I think we just want this one to be just down, like ground level, maybe? Maybe up one. Yeah, between the trees makes more sense. And then we can just connect it up, can we? Oh, not quite. Still too long. Okay. If we bring it over here, then we go up this little, like, wash bit. We can actually twist it a bit. Creatures crossing. Wait for that. What is their obsession with getting in my way? Okay, and now we can just connect it up. Oh, lovely. Except this one is actually clipping through the ground here. So, we actually want this to go up one. It'll just brush through the leaves a little bit. And then there we go. Excellent. And now it takes us longer to run unless it's on the side because it's trying to push us backwards. I feel power pylons should actually have like ones coming out the other, to have a crossways instead. First things first, you need to connect to that power line there, and then you need to fire up the mine. Out the other side. Now, fire up you, and you, and you. And away we go. And off goes the silica. Nice. Now, we also need to do all of this with copper as well. There is some copper over the other side of the lake. But let's just go to the bauxite first. I just want to check up and see how it's going. Okay, well things haven't ground to a halt, so that's a good start. But yes, silica is definitely the thing that I was missing. So aluminium scrap is backing up. I have a container for it here. How full's that? Ooh, very. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem, is that that's backed up. And that's because that the silica we're producing is very insufficient. We're only producing 50 per minute. And I mean, if we produce more of this, then we produce more aluminium as well. We need to have more coming into the equation. That's just the way it works. This isn't backed up yet. So 50 per minute, and then we've got 225 per minute. Slowly making its way here. So 225 and 50 is 275. Oh, now the problem is we never want this backing up, right? Because if this backs up with too much silica, this will also back up. Maybe that's okay? I don't know. We've got to wait for our silica to arrive. So while I do that, I'm going to take a short break.